Kirby series starts off with the first game, Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy. A little boy named Kirby sees his homeland in peril when his friends have told him that the Penguin King of Dreamland, King Dedede, has stolen all the food. Kirby, not being one to stand for this, sets off to get the food. He infiltrates the castle of Dedede and defeats Dedede and returns the food to the citizens of Dreamland. Dedede is jealous, and negative emotions bubble within his fat body. The fountain exists within Dreamland, the Fountain of Dreams. This fountain provides dreams and deep sleep and the rest that come from these two things. Kirby one day discovers that he's suddenly unable to dream along with everyone else in Dreamland. Dedede, getting revenge on Kirby for being the one who always has the attention, has broken up the Fountain of Dreams. What Kirby doesn't know was that the Star Rod, the source of the fountain's power, and the thing that Dedede broke, was actually sealing off a negative force called Nightmare, which had corrupted the fountain. After getting control of the Star Rod, Nightmare would have had ultimate power over the subconscious minds of all life on Popstar. Kirby won't stand for this and collects pieces of the Star Rod and releases Nightmare by accident. Dedede helps Kirby defeat Nightmare, but gets no credit for his work. These negative emotions continue to gurgle inside of Dedede. The negative emotions within Dedede attract the attention of a cosmic being of completely negative origins and energy. This being is known as dark matter. Dark matter is a very lonely being, unable to feel emotions of any sort, positive or negative. Being attracted by Dedede's negative emotions and being a being of negative energy, dark matter flies straight to Dreamland and possesses Dedede. The reason dark matter possessed Dedede was to find out more about this mysterious concept called emotions. Eventually, the islands of Dreamland were separated because the rainbow bridges were shattered. Kirby and his animal buddies gather rainbow drops, the essence that makes up the rainbow bridges, and gather them at Dedede's castle, forging a blade that expels dark matter from Dedede's body. Dueling in the sky, dark matter is defeated. Dark matter, in pain from its last defeat, reincarnates as a being of a pure, dull, white color. This dull color symbolizes how drab this being is, in that it is nothing but zero. It feels nothing, and its color only explains this further. Zero, still wanting to learn about the emotions, goes back to Popstar, and now the leader of Dark Matter launches a full-scale invasion and nearly engulfs the entire planet in the dark substance. Kirby and his rogue Dark Matter friend, who decided to be good, named Gooey, and their new animal friends travel across the planet gathering positive energy. They return to Dedede's castle and expel dark matter from it, and along with the rest of the planet, the dark matter collects back into the central mass of chaos known as the Hyperzone. The positive energy condenses together to form a weapon of concentrated positive energy. Kirby and Gooey grab it and fly into the Hyperzone, killing off dark matter along with their leader, Zero. A planet known as Ripple Star is nearly engulfed in dark matter. Their crystal, the source of all the happiness on the planet, is escorted safely away by a fairy, but not completely safely. 3 dark matter deploy from the central mass known as Dark Star and shatter the crystal, the unconscious fairy falling to Pop Star. Kirby, always willing to help, sets off on an adventure with his newly freed from possession friends, and they all travel to every planet and get every crystal. Once the crystal shard is completed, it expels dark matter and some other mysterious being from the Queen of all Fairies. The central mass flies out and forms a planet made entirely of dark matter and is known as Dark Star. Kirby and his friends take down the resurrected evil form of Zero using the positive energy of the crystals. There is a special object above the skies of Dreamland leading to a parallel universe known as the Mirror World. This universe was created by the magic portal in the form of a mirror that leads to it. This magical mirror reflects all things on Popstar, and they're always reflected as good, even the bad things. But one day it is corrupted by the Mirror World version of dark matter, Dark Mind. The mirror is only able to reflect bad things, and thus Meta Knight's counterpart is turned evil. However, Kirby's Mirror World counterpart has no evil qualities. This is because Kirby's heart is too pure for any evil in any form to ever corrupt it. The same cannot be said about Meta Knight. Dark Meta Knight, the Mirror World version of Meta Knight, seals Meta Knight in a mirror and attacks Kirby, splitting him into 4 Kirbys. Eventually, the mirror is repaired, and going inside, Dark Meta Knight is faced off against in a duel after its cover being shattered. Eventually, Dark Meta Knight is defeated and shatters, and Kirby and the other Kirbys go into another mirror, leading to the final confrontation, the Mirror World version of Dark Matter, Dark Mind. Meta Knight throws his sword into the mirror for good measure, and Kirby and the other Kirbys eventually defeat the dark force that was corrupting the Mirror World. The Mirror World is freed, and Kirby and his fellow Kirbys remain separate for the rest of the series.